The NFL is a cauldron of pressure, and today, that cauldron has finally overflowed into an absolute crisis that is sending shockwaves through the entire league, including our own Carolina Panthers. As the Titan, I am here to tell you that what transpired in the recent clash between the New England Patriots and the New York Jets is not just a football story. It is a warning bomb for Dave Canales and his squad. Imagine the scene at MetLife Stadium, where the atmosphere was already toxic as the Jets faced a devastating 35-3 deficit after only 2 quarters of play. The Panthers know all about struggle, but this was a total collapse. New England had already racked up a whopping 344 yards of offense in the first 30 minutes, which is the most by any team this season. The fans were silent, but the tension on the field was screaming. Suddenly, everything exploded in the moments before halftime. After a stiff hit on quarterback Drake May, the tensions began to boil over like a volcano. Christian Barmore, the star defensive lineman for the Patriots, was at the center of the storm. Christian Barmore is a titan on the defensive line, but even titans can lose their composure in the heat of battle. As the teams headed to the locker room, the cameras captured the truly shocking and heated exchange. The coach confronted Christian Barmore directly, seeking him out amidst the chaos. Christian Barmore did not back down. Christian Barmore shot back with an intensity that was almost terrifying to witness on live television. The discussion between the coach and Christian Barmore continued to escalate until a pat on the chest ended the confrontation temporarily. But the drama did not end there. Christian Barmore had to be guided into the locker room by 2 staff members who each had a hand on his shoulders just to keep Christian Barmore calm. This is the kind of situation that Dave Canales must avoid at all costs in Carolina. Dave Canales has worked tirelessly to build a culture of discipline and respect. But when a star like Christian Barmore explodes, it threatens everything. This was an eye-opening moment because Christian Barmore has had issues before. In Week 8, Christian Barmore was benched against the Browns for reasons that were described only as protecting the team. It is clear that Christian Barmore is a high-strength individual, but that strength can become a weapon against his own team if not managed properly. The coach was vague about the Christian Barmore incident later, stating that it was just a reminder to everybody to keep their composure. But we know the truth. We know that Christian Barmore was on the verge of a total meltdown. The message given to Christian Barmore was about identity and making great decisions. For the Panthers and Dave Canales, this is a critical lesson. Dave Canales knows that giving up free yards or losing emotional control is a recipe for disaster. Christian Barmore is lucky that the referees noted he was trying to avoid post-whistle altercations, but the visual of Christian Barmore being restrained tells a different story. While the Patriots celebrated an 8-0 road record and a 42-10 drubbing of the Jets, the underlying crisis with Christian Barmore cannot be ignored. A perfect road record is a miracle for any team, but the unfinished business and the internal strife represented by Christian Barmore could be the Achilles heel in the postseason. Dave Canales is likely watching this footage and telling his players that this is not how we operate. The Panthers need to learn from the Christian Barmore explosion. We have seen how internal conflict can destroy a season faster than any opponent on the field. Christian Barmore is an elite talent, and losing a player of Christian Barmore's caliber to disciplinary issues would be a tragedy for any defense. The fact that Christian Barmore had to be physically guided away shows just how close the situation came to a total riot. In Foxborough, the fans might be happy with the win over the Jets, but the shadow of the Christian Barmore confrontation looms large over Gillette Stadium. As the Patriots gear up for Miami and the potential #1 seed, the focus must remain on player conduct. Dave Canales understands that the margin for error in the NFL is razor thin. If Christian Barmore cannot control his emotions in a win, imagine what happens in a loss. The Panthers faithful must demand that Dave Canales keeps this kind of volatility far away from Charlotte. We have seen enough crisis in recent years, and we do not need a Christian Barmore-style explosion tearing apart our progress. The remarkable turnaround for New England involving 9 total road games in 3 years is impressive, but the leadership challenge posed by Christian Barmore is the real story here.
Dave Canales is trying to mold young talent, and if they see a veteran like Christian Barmore acting out, it could poison the entire well. The words used to describe the situation were refreshing to some because of the passion, but passion without composure is just chaos. Christian Barmore has to realize that he is part of a larger machine. Dave Canales often talks about the collective over the individual, and the Christian Barmore saga is the antithesis of that philosophy. Every Panthers fan should be on high alert. The NFL is a small world, and the behavior of players like Christian Barmore influences the entire league climate. We are at a crossroads where discipline meets dominance. Christian Barmore has the dominance, but the discipline is lacking. Dave Canales will not tolerate such outbursts. The miracle of an undefeated road season is great, but the tragedy of a divided locker room is eternal. Keep your eyes open because the fallout from the Christian Barmore incident is only just beginning, and Dave Canales is watching every single move. This is the intensity we face every week, and the Panthers must be ready to fight without losing their soul in the process. The Christian Barmore crisis is a mirror for every coach in the NFL to look into and ask if they really have control of their men. Dave Canales must be the rock that Christian Barmore could not find in that moment. The season depends on composure, and the composure of Christian Barmore is now the most talked about subject in every front office from Boston to Charlotte. Stay tuned because this bomb is still ticking.